Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very exciting video because I'm one of the first people on YouTube to actually review this particular item, and I'm very excited to. So here we have the 13.5-inch Funko Bonnie action figure. This thing is huge, and I found it at FYE the other day, and I was just really excited. They also have a Freddy one, and in leaks they have also shown a Golden Freddy one that's exclusive, but no one has found that one yet. So we don't know where that's exclusive to or anything, but keep on the lookout. Funko Fair is still happening for like the next few weeks, so I expect that maybe we'll get some pre-orders available for some of these items that are kind of weirdly starting to show up in stores at some point pretty soon. But if you want a chance to find these, I suggest go to FYE, because that's where I found these, and that's where a lot of people have been finding these figures. So anyways, here we go, we have Bonnie. So first off, the packaging. So I already got it out of the packaging because it's such a huge thing, and it was a real challenge to get it out. But it does look really nice. It's pretty straightforward. Again, it has like Withered Freddy and the FNAF 2 office, like every single merch for some reason needs to have. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty standard, nothing to write home about there. But let's get into the figure itself, because that's, I know, what is really exciting. And yeah, it's massive. So here I actually have the statues, and just you can kind of see that's the size comparison. It's actually taller than all the statues by a long shot, because it's 13.5 inches, but then you have to account for the ears, which make it, well, even taller. So yeah, it's real tall. It's really it's a big figure. Really massive, especially with Bonnie. Bonnie's even bigger because he has the ears. So first we'll go into the accuracy and stuff of this figure, and then I'll show you guys the articulation. So I'm gonna take out this guy's guitar, and we'll take a quick look at that. So this guitar is actually pretty big, and it's made out of just like, not the best material. It's fine for what it is, and you might not recognize this guitar because this is not the original Five Nights at Freddy's 1 guitar, because the original has a chance of being copywritten, so Scott decided to change this. So this is more in line with like the Help Wanted guitar, I think. And yeah, I mean, it's fine. The paint is pretty solid. I mean, it's kind of shiny, which is always nice for guitar, for sure. The paint's like honestly pretty spot on, nothing really bad, but the back is super plain. It doesn't need to be anything much, but you know, it is what it is. So and then Bonnie can actually hold it okay. You have to really get it in there, but after a few times of getting Bonnie to hold on to it, it actually becomes easier. It's kind of challenging though, because it's such a big figure, but well, I'll try and do that when I'm not also trying to record. But Bonnie can hold it. You just gotta kind of, you know, finesse with it a little bit and get it to work. The figure itself, I mean, it's mostly accurate. Like, if we're looking at the body itself, yeah, it's perfectly fine. Everything it needs to be. Colors are pretty fine enough. And then it's when we get to the head that we start having problems. So, as you can see, I'm getting real close, but he has the little, like, crease in the lower jaw, and he has upper teeth. And his teeth are squared, not round like Bonnie's teeth are actually more so round than they are squared, because they used Freddy's jaw. They used this is Freddy's jaw piece, they just reused it for Bonnie, which is fine. You can kind of see why they did Freddy and Bonnie then, because it's easier for them to recolor. Versus if they did Chica or Foxy, they'd really have to make some new sculpts. But, you know, it's not accurate. That the head is not accurate, like, very much, but it's not the worst. I mean, it's not too bad. Like, I can get over it, but Freddy's more accurate, but still, Freddy will have upper teeth, so you gotta choose just which character you like more, honestly. It's, you know, it's okay though. But so let's get into articulation. So if we're looking at the head, the ears do not move, unfortunately, and I wish that they did, but they just don't. But the neck actually does, so you actually get like a good amount of articulation there, which is awesome. Now what's really cool though is you get a nice jaw that actually opens up. So You can kind of move it. You can do a lot of messing around with this guy. He has a ton of articulation. And yeah, so on the head, really, really nice. You can open the jaw up and get like a nice jump scare pose if you want to. So that's really cool. Now for the rest of the body, it's something interesting. So if we look at like this arm joint, for example, you know, it's just gray, you know, it kind of is meant to look like an endo, which I appreciate them painting it for sure. You actually can move it, but it kind of like snaps into place. So, you know, it's a little bit tricky, and when you first get it, it's gonna feel like all these are gonna break, but it actually can move, and then it can move up and down like that. So you can get a lot of articulation in these arms again. Move side to side, and then you can move it in any pose. Now as for the hand can move. Just move side to side. That's about it, which is fine. I didn't really expect much for the hands. But yeah, so there's the arms. It's the same for this arm, so I'm not gonna go through that whole sing and dance again. The waist sadly cannot move. The waist didn't move on the originals, but I assumed maybe they would move the waist for these guys, but no. So it is what it is. And then for the legs are a bit tricky because they can move outwards like that, and then they can move inwards, and then they can also move up like that, and then you can get knees to go move like that. Again, it's real tricky, but you can get it to move like so. And then the feet do actually swivel, so you can get the feet to move side to side. So that's all the articulation. It's a real crazy thing. For a figure this big, the articulation is honestly pretty awesome. And then as for balance, I've been messing around with this thing for a little bit. It balances fairly well. Like, it's not too bad. If you have the guitar with him, he's gonna be a bit less balanced, but it's not bad still. Like, he balances better than you'd expect. And then just some small things, like he has the dirt and grime kind of textured all over him, as you can maybe see. It's painted on because the classic animatronics have a little bit of dirt and grime, and it is there. And it's honestly a bit more prominent on this figure because he's so big, which is nice. And then he does have his tail. It's not painted. I think in Help Wanted it's supposed to be gray, but I think when Funko originally made Bonnie, they just added the tail and didn't paint it, so it's not bad. It's fine. This figure is a very interesting one. It's very fun to mess around with. I don't know the practicality to this, but it's definitely pretty nice to have. Like, it definitely stands out in your display, and you can have a lot of fun. Like, just spend hours messing around with this guy, to be honest. You can get him in a ton of poses. And he's just massive, so definitely keep that in mind when you're getting him. Like, he's actually big. But yeah, so do I recommend these figures? Yeah, I mean, if you're really freaking out about accuracy, then Bonnie's probably not gonna be the one. Just saying. You might want to get Freddy, because he's slightly more accurate. He's still gonna have upper teeth, but honestly, we've been dealing with Funko not knowing how to do teeth for a while, so if that's your biggest issue, then I don't know. You should probably move on, because that's how Funko does things, unfortunately. I hope we get more of these. I don't know if we will, but I'd like to get a Foxy one. Again, I'm a bit surprised they didn't do Foxy right off the bat, but it's probably to do with the fact that Bonnie was easier to recolor to be just like Freddy, so yeah, but I definitely would like to do these, not even just for FNAF 1, for Sister Location, the Nightmares. It would all be super awesome. But we'll have to wait and see. I definitely wish that these came with, you know, like, I don't know, swappable heads and stuff. But for starting off, we're doing pretty good, and it's definitely something that we don't have in the collection, a big scale figure. So it's pretty nice. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I have more merch reviews on the way throughout this week, so stay tuned. It's going to be a good week. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.